This, I'm telling you what it is.
You
are saying very hurtful things.
And you don't want to
No,
seek help.
you say very hurtful things that I am shocked to even hear.
No.
Hi guys, welcome back to Nikki Faces Reality. We're here to discuss Jasmine and Gino in the latest episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. Jasmine and Gino are so divisive. I love reading your comments about everything. They are so chaotic. I literally, just like many of these couples, I take it scene by scene and I give you my reactions. They may change episode to episode. In this case, I feel like it's a two evils kind of situation, but you know, take it for what it is. This is my reaction off of these scenes, and they surely give us a lot to talk about. The last time we saw her, Jasmine was having a fit, saying that Gino controls her, and she was really pissed at the possibility of not being able to do the pageant because they literally can't afford it. So they say. I'm wondering where all the cameo, why the OnlyFans money is going. That's neither here nor there, or is it? Let's get into the scene. Before we do, as always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, let's just... They had 3 scenes in this episode, so...
I'm just here to pick up an order.
Okay.
It's for Gino.
Let me go and check if that's ready for you. Do you want to have something to drink while you're waiting?
Black coffee for me.
Okay, thank you.
Try lemonade.
Sure, I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Oh my god, I'm getting flashbacks. Talk about controlling. Do you remember in their first season where Gino always had to have Jasmine on FaceTime and she got so upset at him because he dared to ask the waitress her name? Do you guys remember that? I just want y'all to remember that when you hear Jasmine calling him controlling all of a sudden. Look at her. She's looking at him with disgust. She's so over that man. You can't tell me different.
Jasmine hasn't spoken to me since we had this big blow-up fight yesterday.
What a
I didn't pay
gift.
the pageant fee yet, and she got really upset to the point where, like, she threw a smoothie at me. She was out of control.
You were petty, but she was out of control.
Family reunion, and I'm a little bit concerned because all the arguing and fighting between Jasmine and I don't want her to get the impression that we're not happy or doing well together.
Ooh. That is awful timing because you know, if Jasmine loves anything, it's a telenovela. And she's going to make a scene. And Gino, if I were you, I would have canceled. I would have rescheduled because bless your heart.
You're not planning acting like this at the reunion, are you?
You know she is.
Ignoring me, you know, the feeling of tension between us.
What?
This family reunion is really important to me.
Oh my
All my
god.
family's going to be there. You know,
She don't care about you.
I walk in the family reunion and have them see that we have tension between us.
Are you planning to apologize? For calling me crazy, for calling me insane.
I mean,
Babes.
apologize. I think you should apologize.
How about y'all both apologize? Wait, I'm retracing my thoughts. I think her outburst was unnecessary. I think that your papers are more important than a pageant. I do, however, think that Gino should apologize for being inconsiderate. Just like she should apologize for being inconsiderate. The whole thing with the gym. Leave her, go do what you gotta do, and come back. But then to kind of like gloat in her face and prove her right that you are trying to have control over her by sitting to drink your smoothie when you just said you were in a rush, that was petty. The thing about it is that Jasmine always takes things so far that it makes any bad deed that Gino does look small in comparison. And it defeats her purpose. It defeats her theatrics. I just wish that they knew how to communicate better. And again, these are things that you probably have to iron out before you get married. Before you do the K1. Because she's always been like that. And I think what's tricky now is that he hasn't always spoken up for himself. And now he is. And it's shaking their dynamic. because she can't handle that, and he is still getting used to this power, this voice, and so it's all a mess.
Are you serious?
Yes. You were yelling and screaming at me, and why are you throwing smoothies at me?
Yeah, that wasn't cool.
You got it all
What
over.
do
You
you
got it
mean?
all over.
What do you
got
mean
it
by
all
no?
over
Don't
my
bring
brand.
Why are they yelling over each other like this? In a restaurant, again, they are not embarrassed. They have zero shame.
These
the hand.
shoes are a week old. You got your smoothie all over my brand new shoes. That's unacceptable behavior.
Oh, God. I mean, he's not
I
wrong.
didn't throw it at you. I threw it on the floor because I didn't want it, and you happened to be there.
Jasmine, are you 5?
That's the angriness I'm talking about.
Because you made me feel that way, Gino.
You can't act like
I don't want to. But you made me act that way.
No, that's what abusive people say. You made me do it. No, you're a grown-ass adult. Keep your hands to yourself. If you can't regulate your emotions, step away. Gino was definitely trying to provoke her. It's hard to empathize with her when this is her default, but I have eyes, I have ears. Gino was definitely provoking her.
Moment that I exploded, it was very frustrating because I feel like you have all the powers and I'm like a freaking dog
What's
that I have to obey your orders. Okay?
No, don't sit there saying that I order you
The only thing
around.
that I do
I tell you what.
Wasn't she just telling him not to put his hands like this when he's talking to her, and then she's pointing it at him? But this is the double standard that I'm talking about with Jasmine. She can't take what she dishes out. And I think she's viewing this as him abusing control when I think he's giving her a taste of her own medicine. I'm not saying that's a good thing.
What to do
This is
and
why
order you around.
This is
That's
why
not
I
true.
raise my voice because you don't
Yeah,
listen
it's not
and
true.
you
I've been trying to help
They're not
you out
listening
since
to
you've
each
been
other.
here, and I've done so much for you, and I want you to start appreciating that.
I hear the word appreciate one more time and I'm gonna lose my.
She does have to appreciate, though. She has no appreciation. She has been entitled to all of his generosity ever since she was in Panama. I don't think he's saying that to dangle it and use it against her. I think he's literally begging for appreciation. And she keeps weaponizing the fact that he says that as like he's trying to have power over me. He's trying to guilt trip me because he brought me to America. It has nothing to do with America. This is literally from day one. All the ways that he shows up for her. Because, okay, he has to do it now because she's here on the K1 visa and she literally can't do anything for herself until she gets her papers. But what was the excuse in Panama? When they met, she was working. When they met, she had her own place. He had zero obligation to fund her life, to fund her extracurriculars. And he did it. And I think that's what he's talking about. Like, I've poured so much into you and into your family. I just want to be appreciated, some gratitude. But she still has this chip of, well, you're supposed to do that for me. And yeah, he's supposed to do that for you now, but not for the 3 years before this. And she just keeps like flipping it. I'm sure it especially doesn't feel good to hear it from him, but I think that that's something she needs to work out. Like, this man has provided for you. And while Gino has always been cheap, Jasmine has found a way to always finesse her way, to always get it out of him. And I think the difference now is that he stupidly quit his job, but he doesn't view it as something stupid. And I think now the foundation of his relationship is falling apart because the main factor of his relationship was that his finances were never ending in her eyes. But now she's in America. She doesn't have the same lavish life. She's stuck with the man because the money isn't flowing. And I think shit is hitting the fan. Kind of went on a tangent. But yeah, I think the word appreciation bothers her because she's not ready to be honest about how much he's provided. Her pride.
I can't believe the audacity from Gino. I don't know what he wants me to do. Make a monument in the house, put candles and pray him with flowers. Honestly, this is ridiculous. When he is the one that led me to this state of mind.
Girl.
By sabotaging my beauty pageant, breaking up his promises.
Girl, you were cuckoo since the beginning. This has nothing to do with Gino. Like, I'm sure Gino has amplified it, but you were already this way. So, I think you're giving Gino too much credit.
If there is someone that is ungrateful in this relationship, is him, because he doesn't appreciate the day-to-day things that I do for him.
That you do now. You didn't do it then. And I think that's what he's talking about. But Gino's house is crusty. Do you guys remember that?
Cleaning the house, me cooking for him. He assumes that I'm obligated because I'm his wife.
Just like you assumed that he was obligated, well, because he was your sugar daddy, allegedly. And so he paid for everything then. Do you guys, I'm not saying either of them are right. I just want to highlight the hypocrisy of her having a problem with him, believing that certain things are an obligation. But when you look at it the other way around, she had the same attitude. I think the problem is that she isn't the one on top, so now we're hearing the issue. You know what I mean? Because Gino would complain a little bit, but then he would give in. She's just on and on and on. And I know some of you in the comments were like, well, the pageant, it's something for her, to focus on when she's here. What she needs to focus on is making sure that her kids are okay. What she needs to focus on is making sure that he pays for the lawyer fees for that. That he pays for the paperwork so that she can work, so that she can be independent and provide for herself and for her kids. I'm sorry. It's literally what adulting is. You have to tackle the important stuff first, unless it's on your dime. If you want to go crazy and live above your means on your dime, do that. That's your right. But to already depend on one person and then ask them for frivolous things, I feel like that's coming up with Thais and Patrick and his dad. It's coming up with Ashley and Manuel. People really need to lock the fuck in. A pageant is not at the top of that list. I don't want to hear it.
Gino has this sense of entitlement. It's like he's the American hero that traveled to a third world country and saved me from my misery.
She has such a chip on her shoulder, you guys. I don't think that that's what it is. I mean, maybe I'm seeing it differently. I just don't see that. And I think she has a chip like that because she's not comfortable with this vulnerable space. And I get that it's uncomfortable. But I think she's fabricating extra things. And it's really going to hurt her marriage. And maybe, knowing what we know now, allegedly, I just saw her on a live. And there was a man speaking with her, driving. And I'm like, that must be the alleged new boyfriend that she fully lives with. So I'm seeing all of this now, and I'm like, are you trying to start shit on purpose so you can get out? Because you're making something out of nothing.
You know, you're not.
Please try to make this a positive experience. I don't want to be arguing and fighting in front of my family.
Oh, good luck,
That's all I'm
Gino.
asking. I'm not telling you to do something. I'm saying
Yes,
try.
you are.
I'm saying try.
You say try, but if I don't act accordingly, you get mad at me and you're putting expectations on me.
No,
I left my country, one of the nicest countries in the world with the best weather, my family, my friends, my culture, my language, to live in a hole. I don't have anything other than a husband that keeps complaining about me and trying to control my life.
A shit husband. Do you see the nasty stuff that she says about Gino and then expects him to fulfill her every wish? No wonder Gino is toughening up because he's like, I can't keep letting you batter me with your words every time you don't get your way. And I understand that many immigrants come to America and miss their home, and a lot of their homes are paradise, like Panama. But it makes you think. Jasmine has been complaining about the shit weather, the shit husband, The fact that her kids can't be here. The fact that she's not independent. So why is she still here? If this wasn't her American dream to be here, right? She had no desire to be here. She only came for Gino. That's her sacrifice, right? If that's the case, and she's no longer with Gino, why haven't you gone back to take care of your kids? Why haven't you gone back to Panama? I just feel like you need to be honest with yourself. She wanted to be like, I want to stay here so that I can do X, Y, and Z opportunities so that I can take care of my kids. Go for it. But that's not what it looks like. And that's not the song that she's been singing. She's been singing that she practically was forced here by Gino. And she's talking about all the things that she left. But why aren't you back there? All this guilt that you were talking about. Why aren't you back there?
So from now on, I'm not gonna play the happy wife if I don't feel happy. If he's not.
You've been playing happy?
Oh, wow. You guys rock.
You carry up that. I'm not carrying.
I need you to help me. Can you help me?
No.
Talk about a shit wife. Like, why did she go in there if she's not going to help him? Taking multiple trips with all this stuff. She literally... I seriously can't with Jasmine.
It's pretty sad.
I cannot. Listen, is this a family band? I kind of want to do this with my family. It'll sound like this or worse, but this is just so funny. They just do this every year. He's so cute.
Today is my annual family reunion.
I love how close his
And
family
it
is.
a tradition to play live Italian music during the family reunion.
I'm not an expert, but that's not Italian music playing.
But it's still so wonderful to hear.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
You
Don't
guys
be a
did
bitter
so
Betty.
amazing. It's wonderful. My Uncle Marco is in a band.
He's so
I
cute.
love Uncle Marco. And actually, he's the reason why I show up to this family reunion.
Hey,
Because
shut
you
up.
were asking me or obligating me to do so. I do it only because of Uncle Marcos.
Playing the tiniest violin for Jasmine.
I'm not like a teacher, I want to bring name tags until I remember all the names.
Dana, Tony,
Tony,
John,
Anthony.
Tony's in the family.
They're Italian, babes.
Oh
My grandpa was Tony.
Hey, that's what the family party.
Oh, that's what I want. I want Italian feast.
Since I got to America, things with Gino's family had not been easy. In the beginning, they didn't trust me and my love for Gino, but it has gotten better since the wedding. Now, I feel more comfortable around Gino's family, like I can actually be myself.
A royal beef.
So, your birthday just passed. How was your birthday?
Oh, we went to Miami. Yes.
You love Miami, don't you?
I love Miami. I enjoy so much because I'm gonna be honest. I've been going through a lot lately.
Oh,
and
Gino's face.
I ended up deciding to participate in a beauty pageant. No, you did? Oh my gosh.
She's talking about it like she's already signed up. The fee hasn't even been paid. Like nothing has been official. That is her way of being like, well, your family knows now. Pay up. Gino's pissed.
Right.
They're so
Gino
supportive.
told me that I cannot do it, and that is very cruel.
I didn't say you can't do it. I said I have to try to find a way to get
Petty McGee.
because we have a lot of other financial things going.
Yeah.
How much is it?
$1,200.
$1,200, you guys, is the entrance fee. If you know anything about pageants, you have to pay for the dresses, the private coaching, transportation, hair and makeup. It goes beyond 1,200. I just needed to include that because the numbers do get a little crazy. How much? I forget how much the application is to be a citizen. Is it like 3,000? And then the lawyer fees are 5,000, but he would need it for like 2 years, so it would be like 10,000. You see how things are adding up? But then again, I'm also like, Gino, go back to your job. And also, where is the Cameo money going? Where is the OnlyFans money going? Where's her social media ambassador sponsorship money going? Because she's always posting about something. Where is the money? These are questions that need answers.
That's not too bad, Gino.
Her bestie's vouching for her.
I don't agree with that.
To be honest, everything went down the drain after we came back from Miami.
I think that she's not addressing a big part of why it went downhill. You crushed his dreams of having a family of his own. Like, the pageant thing didn't happen in Miami. That happened when they got back to Michigan. In Miami, the kick to his balls was when she told him that she didn't want to have kids with him, after she told him that they would. See, this is the thing with Jasmine and Gino this season that I'm like, I'm getting all worked up, and all of this could be scripted. Because weren't they just on their honeymoon camping? And didn't she pull out a notebook with her ovulation schedule? Wasn't her storyline at the beginning of this, oh, I'm scared that I'm not going to be able to conceive because it's harder on my body? And then she pulls out the schedule and is like, we need to have sex all these days because I'm ovulating. Wasn't that her big old thing at the top of the season? And then she crushed his dreams in Miami. He came back to Michigan defeated, looking at her differently because she's broken promises. Remember, she said that he was breaking promises. I feel like sometimes manipulative people like to say that you're doing certain things, but it's the things that they're doing. And again, Gino's not an angel. He could very well be doing things to be petty, but I think it's mirroring her or in response of her. I don't think that he's leading the charge in the disrespect.
Let's try to have a positive day. Don't be negative and arguing and showing tension.
You know, I'm sorry, Gino, but I'm
Gino's
not gonna
pissed.
sit here in front of your family because you asked me to and tell them like everything is going well because
It's
that's
so
not the
awkward.
reality.
It's not the reality. I'm not a fan of having public fights, but the moment you let your family into your business, you will never be able to get them out. This is inappropriate. It's also an invasion because Gino didn't consent to this. Also, it's in front of so many people. It's not like it's like in front of one confidant in your family. This is in front of your uncles, your cousins. This is embarrassing. I know that, some people may view this as, well, she needs support and she's trying to get to support. This is not the way to do it. One of his cousin's wives is her bestie. Why not talk to her one-on-one?
And it's important to be honest to the family because family it's gonna give you feedback,
Oh, this is a reunion. It's not.
Busting my butt for her and trying to make her happy and support her ever since she's been here. It's not fair to me to be the bad guy, and I'm not. She thinks I'm controlling her.
In Panama, I used to be like a super independent person. For me, it is also to be so codependent
Girl.
of him.
Codependency existed when you were in Again, I keep bringing it up because I just feel like, do we have amnesia? Like, I just don't appreciate the rewriting of history when it's well documented. Dependency wasn't an issue when you were living lavish. I think the difference is that it's in Michigan. It's not in a luxury building. It's not in paradise.
You have to You have to have
explain,
patience
justify.
because you just came to this country. It's a process.
It is a process.
Gino's an American citizen, and he's not getting what it is for me to be here new in this country and being very limited.
That is a given, and it's hard for everybody. It's not just hard for you, Jasmine. It sounds like she needs more community. But the gym is a good outlet and a good place to build community, and it seems like she already has a membership. Gino should put himself out there more to take her more often, to let her be there more often. And I do feel for her. Like it's hard going to a new place and starting over. But the things that she is nitpicking, I'm giving a little bit of a side eye.
Mercy for everything.
That's hard.
She hasn't really been doing anything here. She hasn't been going out.
I just took her to the movies.
Gino,
I take
please.
her to the gym every day. That's a lot.
It's not
It's a lot. It is a lot to take someone drop.
I'm sure that it's a lot, but you're all they have. That is the only activity. You don't have to pay more for it. And you said you quit your job to be of service to her. So for her, that's what being of service is. Like she works out often. Gino,
By someone back and forth.
It could be a lot, but she actually flew from Panama to the United States to live
To be
here.
with you.
So driving her to the gym really isn't that.
It's a lot of work. Okay? It is.
You knew that
You
she
did.
went and worked out every day. Taking her to the gym is not that big of a deal.
It's a big
Yeah.
deal for me because it's a lot of driving.
you knew that that was part of the package. But I can imagine in Gino's side how frustrating it must be on a bad day with Jasmine where she berates you and yells at you and then is like, and take me to the gym. And you have no choice but to take her. Like, I would imagine that that's not a fun time.
But you're not working.
And
Ooh.
it's your job.
That's what you stayed home for. I get frustrated with Gino because he said he wanted to spend time with Jasmine. You know,
That's true.
wanted
He
to
did say
stay
that.
home from work, but really, Gino wants to do fantasy football and do what Gino wants to do because she's telling him her problems with him, but he's either ignoring it or he's not doing anything about it.
I think he's fed up. And I think, of course, she's only getting Jasmine's side of the story. And Jasmine definitely has some points. He should be doing the bare minimum, which is taking her to the gym. I fully agree. But I think that Gino's problems with Jasmine are an emotional level. He's not getting his emotional needs met from her. And so, in turn, how he punishes her, removing things where he knows it's going to hurt her, which is money. And that in itself is so troubling on both sides. Like, I'm like, how did we make it this far in your relationship?
We came back from Miami. Your attitude has changed toward me.
That is not true at all.
I think it is true. I think that his dreams of being a father were crushed. And it's weird that neither of them are acknowledging it.
I'm sick and tired of her getting angry and saying hurtful things to
Yeah.
me like you do. That's wearing me out to the point where I have a hard time being intimate with you because all the hurtful things you say to me.
It's true, but this is not the space to bring it up. And I mean, she started this conversation. She opened Pandora's box, but he went there and he took it all the way home. He took it around and around. I could never discuss my sex life in front of my uncles and my cousins. I could never. This is too far. If looks could kill, Jasmine is throwing so many daggers his way.
But
Very
I
good.
didn't bring any intimacy topic, but you're venting it out to your family.
Because you started venting to his family. Ugh, this is so bad.
Passionate with someone like that. So it has not been good.
Ooh. This is humiliating. Ugh. The secondhand embarrassment. And you could tell that it's a sensitive, I mean, it's always been a sensitive subject, their intimacy, and how she wants more of it, so she says. And he says he doesn't want any of it because she doesn't make him feel good about himself. And it wasn't always like that because their first season, he had like the blue pill, remember? And, but that season, so much happened. Yeah, this is bad. How do you even come back from this? Oof.
I know that I started this conversation about certain problems we're having as
You
a
did.
couple, but going from there to talk about our sexual issues, shut the up.
You can't decide for another person what is too far, right? I think that for Gino, he literally told you, let's keep the peace in front of my family. And you went out of your way to start a conversation to blow your cover. So for him, he's like, this isn't too far because it's all connected. Eesh. Oh my God. I hate this. This is my worst nightmare. I hate a tit for tat person. I cannot. I've been with someone like that. It was the most miserable 6 months. I cannot believe I partook in that. And the fact that these individuals are married.
Has a lot of deep sexual issues, but I will humiliate and hurt him deeply if I tell them the truth.
She would love to use that against him. She would love to humiliate him. But also, Jasmine, we've seen you lick Gino's crusty feet. We've seen you gloat so proudly about how you peed on his chest. And the many other things that y'all have done. What could possibly be more humiliating than what you've already shared on television? I don't like when people do this. When you have an intimate relationship with someone and then you use that information against them when you're having a bad day, like that ruins the sanctity of the relationship, of the connection. And she's done it many times with comparing him to her ex and things like that. The fact that she's even doing it towards the cameras, being like, I could end him with the information that I have. It's like, how would anyone ever feel safe with you? Like, you're not showing characteristics of a safe person. You're showing characteristics of someone that's cruel. And so, again, this is a word that she uses against Gino, that he's cruel. Like, have you looked into a mirror? When Gino is bad, I call him out. But Jasmine wants to call him bad and then dismiss all the dirt under her, and I don't like that.
Just a suggestion. You just need to let all this crap go.
Now she's hurt,
If you
but it's
look
like,
at it, you have an advantage. You have the awareness that this is going on. And you
ugh,
can learn to either resolve it, cope with the situation, or end it.
they don't want to resolve anything. They want violence. They both want to be right so bad. And
Oh, look at you.
they're back at home.
I enjoyed the family reunion.
I thought it could have been better. I felt like, the conversation was
Inappropriate.
not positive and a lot, about our personal life. I don't think we should broadcast our problems to the entire family.
I agree.
Now your family can see who you really are.
You're
You see? You see what I'm talking about? I would love to know what you guys think, but this for me is just proving how manipulative she is. Because I now don't take any of her tears seriously. Because she told his family these details because she just couldn't contain just the anguish that he's making her feel. And she just had to get their advice on the situation. She didn't want their advice. The only reason she did that was to humiliate him, to have them see who he really is. Do you hear her? Do y'all hear her? It wasn't for her to have some sympathy advice. It was to make him look bad. because she gave them half details. She didn't tell them the details of what happened in Miami, for real. Ugh, this is a lot.
You're absolutely wrong. My family, I think, understood me when I said you say very, very hurtful things.
I mean,
that
we've seen it.
really affect my affection with you. Some things that you can't take back.
Thank you for
That you can't take back.
Thank you for bringing that point.
Yeah.
You know why?
In front of the cameras.
You're talking about, we shouldn't be telling them our very private
Well, you
problems.
started it. I had to let them know the truth.
You did.
You are the one who brought up the sex topic.
Because you brought up...
Talking about how I'm totally different. After at Miami, I had to explain to them the reason why.
Which you fully didn't go into, and I'm surprised, but...
After our wedding, we were trying to have a baby, and our sex life was very passionate, but then we stopped. The truth is, Gino complains about me yelling at him.
Well...
But this is the gaslighter on Gino. He always makes me yell at him.
No one can make you yell. Talk about gaslighting. Talk about flipping someone's reality. No one can make you yell. You yell at him because you can't contain your emotions. You don't know how to figure out your feelings. As an effect, he can't rise to the occasion because he's scared. No one wants to screw someone that they're scared of. So for her to be like, that's the gaslighting, please pull up the mirror. Please.
So that he has an excuse to avoid having sex with me.
No, girl.
He doesn't enjoy intimacy with me. He prefers other things.
I'm sure he
I take it
does.
personally. I feel undesired, like completely worthless.
Oh, God.
Stop putting makeup on the real sexual problem you have.
No, it's not a sexual problem.
You do.
I'm telling you what it is.
You
You
do.
are saying very hurtful things.
See?
You don't want to
No,
seek help.
you say very hurtful things that I am shocked to even hear.
No. Gino, do you know what the big problem is?
I know it. I just told you what the problem is.
He's literally telling her, I am telling you that you say hurtful things. That is why I can't be intimate with you. And she's like, nope, it's something else. You can't tell someone, no, that's not why you're hurt. When they're literally telling you, you cut me, so I am bleeding. No, you're not bleeding because of that. What do you mean? But again, they're both not listening to each other, just talking over each other.
Your addiction to pornography.
Oh my God, that's a low blow. But then again, here's the thing. Gino, once upon a time, like I mentioned, did enjoy screwing Jasmine, so it seemed. He had the blue pills on deck. But that he likes porn doesn't surprise me. One, because it's pretty common with men and women, and they thems. But also, allegedly, didn't he meet her on one of the sugar baby sites? Also, wasn't one of his exes strippers. He supports sex workers. Jasmine is technically a sex worker now if she does OnlyFans. Liking porn is the least surprising thing that Jasmine could have ever said. And so her being like, that's it. That's why you don't want to be with me. I think that because she's scary to him, he relies on porn to get off. But I don't think the porn is preventing him from being intimate with her. But of course, I can understand why she would see it that way. Like he's literally yelling at her. That is not the issue. But if we're going along with my theory that I think that she's possibly just setting up traps for him to fall into so that she can get the fuck out, that may be what's happening. She's like, I'm going to make you look as bad as possible on TV, so when I plan my exit, it looks like the signs were there. Listen, she's a big telenovela actress on this 90-Day universe, so I think she's capable of a lot.
Don't lie about it.
Yes, you do. I'm not lying.
Yes, you are lying.
I'm not lying.
You are way
I'm not
Yes,
lying.
you are.
I don't give a and I said it.
You're a liar.
She knows what she's doing. I said it. I'm glad you asked me about that in front of the
Have I
cameras.
watched porn before? Yes, but I'm not addicted to it. She thinks I'm addicted to porn because I'm not being intimate with her. She wants to put the blame on me, and she's not taking responsibility for
Correct.
herself.
Correct. And of course, I do know that porn addiction is real. There are many people that are addicted to sex and all that. And he could be, but I don't think that's what's keeping him from jumping on her. I think what's keeping him from jumping on her is her nasty attitude.
Her actions and what she's doing to me.
Your problem with sex started long before you ever met me.
Girl.
No, sorry.
Now I understand.
You don't understand anything. You don't listen to me. That's your problem.
I do.
No, you don't. You don't listen.
I do.
Yikes.
You don't have to curse. No one.
I hate when people do that. When they're like, you don't have to curse. I'm not yelling. No, but you're saying fucked up shit in a condescending tone. So for me, that's equivalent of yelling. Because you're being disrespectful. I hate when people do that. Talk about gaslighting.
One is yelling. You talk about no yelling. Why are you yelling?
Bitch.
Because you're not listening to me. I'm telling you what the problem is, and you're not.
Gino, get out. Just walk away.
The word addicted is a big word.
You know what you're doing.
In the past, when I expressed to him that I want to be intimate, he said like, "Oh, I couldn't wait for you," and I masturbated.
I'm sure you did, because you're
It's so hard for
scary.
me to understand that you're in a long-distance relationship. You finally have this person face to face, and you prefer masturbating and watching porn.
Absolutely. If
Well, I
someone's
hope you change your attitude at home soon, because all this arguing and yelling at me and starting arguments with me, that's not going to help the situation right now, and that's not going to fly.
Is he threatening her?
So what is what?
He's like,
I'm
girl,
telling you the facts.
That's the thing.
what if Gino broke up with Jasmine? What if this threat is his fighting words of being like, if you don't stop being a B word, you can get the step in? Because the rumor is that she allegedly cheated. But it would be an interesting turn of events if Gino was like, actually, I'm done with your shit. That would be... Oof. That would be a lot, because she came on this country and she doesn't have anything.
Now I get it. Why you never marry someone from your culture? Because America is gonna keep up with this, and I'm
Girl.
not gonna keep up with that.
I'm not going to do this anymore.
She loves to throw a low blow.
Waste of time.
Typical of Gino.
Typical Jasmine. Literally being petty. And because of that, Gino's equally petty. And now they keep reaching dead ends. They're at the point in the relationship that they're so far gone that I'm just like, the end is clearly inevitable. But then again, I have felt that about them so often. I mean, I really thought that they were going to be done, like for good, when she yelled at him and told him that Dane and her had sex a month ago and that he's better in bed than him. Do you guys remember that? And then she had this teary proposal and was like, don't leave me, Gino. Only to then do the same thing to him a month into America. Mind you, he also didn't even know at that point that Dane had funded her butt implants. The lies, the deceit, the layers of just disrespect. I understand why Gino would be a dick, because he is being a bit of a dick right now, but this is a man that has been like fed up. But yeah, like I said, at this point, they're at the point of no return, and I wonder if they're really not together anymore. I wonder we're gonna literally see the demise of them this season. It's crazy because I feel like this season we're seeing the end of so many couples. I'm laughing because I'm like shaking. It's terrible. We're seeing the end, obviously, of Nicole and Mahmoud. We're seeing the end of Angela and Michael, and then Gino and Jasmine. That's huge for the franchise. Three of their big, chaotic, problematic couples are reaching the end of the finish line. That's crazy. I would love to know your thoughts on these Gino and Jasmine segments. Let me know what you think, your thoughts. As always, everybody be respectful. I love hearing your thoughts in the comments, even if they're different from mine, because I get to see your perspective. You can see mine. We're just sharing our opinions over a reality show. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.